You are watching the ACC on ESPN. It's the start of another big Monday. Tonight from the Castle Coliseum in Blacksburg, Virginia, where the 11th-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies are hosting the 16th-ranked Louisville Cardinals. Midway through the ACC conference schedule, and it's tight at the top 6 teams, separated by 1 game in the loss column. These 2 teams part of a 3-way tie for 4th. Behind Virginia, Duke, and North Carolina. These 2 teams 7-2 in conference. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Big Monday. Sean McDonough along with Jay Billis, joined in just a moment by Allison Williams. Delighted to have you with us for a very big game, Jay, for these 2 teams.
Well, these are kind of the dog days of the ACC play once you hit the midway point. For Virginia Tech, they're shorthanded without Justin Robinson, but they want to be able to protect their home court. And for Louisville, the Cardinals are on the road the next 2 games, but their February may be the toughest I can remember in ACC play. It's a murderer's row. If you can get this one tonight, that's a great start.
Similarity between these 2 teams, each with an emerging sophomore star, and in Jordan Nwora and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 2 of the top 6 scorers in the league.
Well, Jordan Nwora can really shoot it. One of the best guard rebounders in the country, just under 8 rebounds per game. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, good in transition. He's going to have to handle it tonight without Justin Robinson. And he's an excellent steals guy on the defensive end as well.
Let's send it over to Allison Williams.
Sean, as Jay mentioned, this is the 2nd game for Virginia Tech without their 2nd leading scorer and senior point guard Justin Robinson. He injured his left foot last week against Miami, has a boot on that foot, and is out indefinitely, as is PJ Horn. So Virginia Tech really down to 7 players. Nickeil Alexander-Walker described playing without Robinson as uncomfortable. He said it's tough because I really have to be 2 people. I have to find my shot and look to create for others, which Robinson did so well. He said, Coach told us to keep being who we are, but guys, you can imagine that's difficult without a player like Robinson, who is such a big part of this team's identity.
I know how he feels, Allison. I have to be 2 people tonight, analyst and play-by-play.
Sellout crowd here at the Castle. They called for a blackout. A lot of the fans dressed in black. Many didn't get the memo. Virginia Tech dressed in black, and it's Louisville in white that controlled the tip as Malik Williams won it.
Virginia Tech starting out in man-to-man. And Sean, I think you're going to see Virginia Tech try to use the clock. They don't want to get too aggressive with pace because they don't want to be picking up fouls throughout the course of this game.
Quan Ford, one of 3 graduate transfers on this Louisville team, have helped make a smooth transition to the coaching staff under Chris Mack in its first season. There's the Virginia Tech starting 5 without Justin Robinson. It'll be Wabisa Beatty at point, but they have a number of people who can handle the ball and help run their offense. Excellent 3-point shooting team. 2nd best in the country, the Hokies at 42.2%. Only Lehigh's been better from behind the arc, and on cue, Ahmed Hill missed the first 3-point attempt of the night for Virginia Tech.
Boy, the first possession, Harry Blackshear did such a good job switching off onto a guard, keeping that guard in front. He is such a big part of what Virginia Tech does, and you saw him when he got the ball inside. He's an excellent passer out of the post.
Nwora sent it into the corner. Kristen Cunningham, another of the graduate transfers. He's from Samford University. He's a big reason why this Louisville team, Jay, is one of the pleasant surprises in the country. Picked 11th in the ACC in the preseason poll, and they're 16th in the country this week.
Well, Cunningham has been rock solid. He's the leading assist guy for Louisville, and he's leading the ACC in assists in ACC play, over 6.5 a game.
5 on the shot clock. Tough shot, and it was made by Harry Blackshear, who then stumbled as he backpedaled back down the court. He's up and okay.
Blackshear coming off a game against NC State in which he had 13 points, 13 rebounds. Good pass inside.
Blocked by Blackshear. That double-double for him in that win in Raleigh was his 4th of the year and 8th of his career. Really the lone inside presence at 6'10", 250 for Coach Buzz Williams.
And they play through Blackshear, whether he's at the top of the key or down in the low post. They will cut off of him. They go off of dribble handoffs.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker again. They're deep in the shot clock. It's a three that spins off and rebounded by Wara, who's among the best rebounders in the conference. 9th in the ACC at 7-7 per game. His three is long and kept alive by Dwayne Sutton, who then went down hard and was slow to get up.
He hit his head. He hit the back of his head hard when he went down.
Meanwhile, a traveling call against Chris Mack's Louisville Cardinals turns the ball over.
Dwayne Sutton has had not a good year for Louisville. He's had a great year. He's got his feet taken out from under him, and that's a scary thing.
He stays in the game. Redshirt junior, another transfer. He transferred to Louisville after 1 year at UNC Asheville. Alexander Walker didn't get enough on the shot. Louisville looks to run. Wara the Euro step, and he lays it in.
Like a Euro walk.
There were a lot of years in college basketball where that was a travel ×2.
Malik Williams did a nice job on that last defensive play of staying in front and making the offensive player shoot over him.
Blackshear, they go inside out, and Hill struggling out of the gate. Blackshear the rebound. When we saw these Hokies 2 weeks ago at North Carolina, he had a career high in rebounds.
It's 17.
To go with 19 points.
He is in the middle of the floor. He can make a move there. Also a good passer. They love to cut off of him in the high post.
Both teams struggling to shoot. There's Malik Williams off the mark. And of course, we talk about struggling to shoot. The game Virginia Tech was involved in at NC State Saturday. Historic, as NC State made 9 field goals. They shot 16.7% for the game, scored 24 points. The lowest in the shot clock era by an ACC team.
Well, Jordan Wara, an excellent scorer. Very good in catch and shoot, good in transition. Or maybe he didn't walk. Close, though.
Buzz Williams creates a t-shirt with a quote for his team, and he puts them up on that wall that you saw there. He also takes a picture of every road game that they go on out on the court, and then if they win, they frame it and put it up in their team meeting room. Of course, they already have their last road win at NC State, the 47-24 victory. Guys, it wasn't picture perfect, but they get the W, so it goes up on the wall.
Yeah, it was far from perfect, but he thought Buzz Williams called it a thing of beauty. When you win without one of the best point guards in the history of your program, especially on the road. And that was an NC State team that was ranked 23rd in the country. Like to play at a high tempo. They just couldn't make anything, obviously. Blackshear, a nice move, but then he was defended well by Malik Williams.
You don't want to take away from the defensive job that Virginia Tech did. They played very good defense and had a great game plan going into the game to win that one on the road. But nobody's defense is good enough to hold a ranked team to 24 points. I mean, NC State contributed to that with their poor play.
I think the pollsters were so dismayed by what NC State did. They went from in the top 25 last week, Jay, to in the poll out today, they didn't even get one vote. They weren't even get others receiving votes. You shoot other 17%, you're not getting a vote. Blackshear went swooping to the bucket and then missed. This is reminiscent of that game Saturday. Dwayne Sutton, the bucket. Louisville on the road, out 8-2.
Dwayne Sutton has been a rock for Louisville. Got a double-double in 4 of his last 8 games. And you had mentioned the rebounding Jordan Wara. Sutton is a really good guard rebounder as well. He averages close to 7 a game, couple offensive boards. Just a tough kid. Yeah. Played at UNC Asheville. He and Andrew Rousey were in the backcourt at Asheville.
Wow. Virginia Tech, which scored only 47 points in that game Saturday, shot 35% and still won by 23 points. Off to a terrible start tonight. Second in the country, 3-point shooting. They're 0 for 5 from beyond the arc tonight.
The thing NC State had, it wasn't contagious, was it?
It feels like it. Maybe it infected the Super Bowl as well. Nobody can score in any sport right now. Deep three with the shot clock running out. Sutton, another excellent hustle play. They track down the three-point miss by Cunningham. Quan Four's shot is way short.
Not the shot that Louisville wanted after working that hard to get the rebound. Not just Sutton, but Wara keeping the ball alive.
Alexander Walker. There are 11 NBA scouts here tonight. They're here to watch him primarily. Strong drive in the bucket by Ahmed Hill. He's a grad student for Virginia Tech out of Augusta, Georgia, where he scored more than 3,000 points in high school.
Well, how about Kerry Blackshear? After Nickeil Alexander-Walker got doubled, Blackshear made a really good pass to get it to Hill in the corner.
Wara, step back three.
He doesn't need much room, does he?
No, indeed. And more time not required either by Jordan Wara.
The more he dribbles, the less effective he is. When he does something quickly, catch and shoot, catch one dribble, and then make a move, he is really one of the more dangerous offensive players in the country.
His numbers way up over a year ago. The Hokie struggles continue.
Yeah, Wara's averaging over 12 points per game more this year than last year.
Right on cue, another three. Buzz Williams won't wait for the under 12 media timeout. This season, NCAA coaches in Infinity are taking a timeout to fight cancer with Infinity's $1 million donation to the American Cancer Society. Buzz Williams, in his 5th season as head coach at Virginia Tech, has had them in the NCAA tournament each of the last 2 seasons after a strong run at Marquette. This is an Infinity timeout for the win. Learn more at infinitytimeout.com. And continuing on Wednesday, the crossover back for the 6th season. This year, a college analyst being paired with an NBA analyst for twice the information, twice the earache for the listen. No, I'm kidding. You will be in Milwaukee for the Wizards and the Bucks with the National Sportscaster of the Year, Doris Burke. Congratulations, Doris. Well deserved. No pressure there.
There's a lot of pressure anytime you're with Doris Burke. She is the best. It'll be fun. Enjoy that every year, and I cannot wait to see Mike Budenholzer's team, the Milwaukee Bucks, and watch the Greek Freak.
Is that the extent of your Milwaukee Bucks knowledge right now? Have you been studying up a little bit more than that?
Well, I watch a lot of NBA, so I've seen a fair amount of it. The Bucks are really good. And they had a bunch of guys who watched in college, like Chris Middleton.
There's some insight.
Made an all-star team for the first time. Went to Texas A&M. Malcolm Brogdon is with the Bucks as well and having a great year.
Now you're just showing off a little bit. B.J. King is the man called for the last foul. Out of the timeout, these two teams substituting for the first time. So they went about 8 minutes where either team went to the bench.
Virginia Tech won't be substituting much at all throughout the course of the game. One thing you know about Virginia Tech with all the injuries, nobody is complaining about playing time right now.
That's right.
The 1-2-2 3/4 court press just to slow the advance. This is really what you call a nuisance press, so they don't have to guard as long in the half court. Take some time off the shot clock.
Virginia Tech still has not substituted. You would think they wouldn't put that press on very often. Like to play at a slower pace.
Well, they're pressing to slow it down. You can press for different reasons. You can press to speed it up and to force turnovers. You can press also to slow the pace. And that's why Virginia Tech was pressing. It's a nuisance press to slow the pace.
5 points for Dwayne Sutton. And a 10-point lead for Louisville. Blackshear working on Stephen Enoch, who's off the bench for Chris Mack. And a three. Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
And Sean, you can see anytime the ball goes into Kerry Blackshear, it's not just his ability to score. He can pass. He found the cross-court pass and then the extra pass to Alexander-Walker, who was ready to shoot. They are playing through Kerry Blackshear, and he is doing a heck of a job for Virginia Tech.
B.J. King the miss. He was a starter last year in the one season under David Padgett, when Louisville won 22 games, went to the NIT. They lost their top 3 scorers off that team. Had to regroup. Turmoil off the court. Obviously, David Padgett did a very nice job stepping in right before last season started and helping calm things down. What a hit Chris Mack has been at Louisville. And hitting from 3 again, the Canadian out of Toronto, Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
And another assist from Kerry Blackshear. Every time Blackshear has touched the ball, something good has happened.
Kristen Cunningham. Ryan McMahon, that's his specialty. The 3 rattled out. 81% of his shots are threes. And a bad turnover. The interception by Hill. And beautifully defended, although there is a foul call by Michael Stevens, who's working with Doug Sermons and Jeff Clark.
Watch when the ball goes inside to Blackshear. When he catches it, immediately he looks middle to see if a double team's coming and looks cross court. Finds Beatty, who finds Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then the ball goes inside again. Everybody collapses, and Alexander-Walker moves. He relocates. And then it was a little bit harder for Ryan McMahon to find him. That's just good basketball playing inside out. But you can't do that, Sean, with every post guy. It's only a post guy like Kerry Blackshear, who's an excellent passer.
Dwayne Sutton called for the last foul. Goes to the bench. It was his first foul, and Hill missed the first free throw. That's surprising. He's their best. 86% from the line, 1 out of 2. These are 2 outstanding free throw shooting teams. Louisville best in the ACC. Virginia Tech is 3rd with Virginia in between.
And on top of Louisville being an excellent free throw shooting team percentage-wise, they get to the line more than any team in the league. They get 23, 24% of their points to the free throw line.
Stephen Enoch showing his range at 6'10", shooting 56% from the floor. Best for Louisville, junior, another transfer. He's from UConn, from Norwalk, Connecticut.
He needed that. He had a goose egg, didn't score against North Carolina.
That was a rough game for the Cardinals Saturday at the KFC Yum Center. 10-point loss to a North Carolina team they beat a couple of weeks ago in Chapel Hill by 21. Tough shot, wouldn't go for VJ King. Rescued by Cunningham. The crowd thought he traveled, and that's a goaltend.
But what a job by Cunningham to split that trap on the baseline. Virginia Tech, not a very strong trap where they were shoulder to shoulder, but he was able to get low after walking the tightrope and then just stepped through it. And that was
literally stepped through it.
Pass.
You think that was a travel?
No. It was a Euro step through.
What used to be known as a travel. Alexander Walker, nice pass. Blackshear the dunk.
Boy, that was like a quarterback in the NFL looking off the primary receiver. Almost a no-look pass because he knew that Blackshear was diving to the basket. That was beautiful.
Kristen Cunningham. Coach Mack this time how fortunate they were to find him. Looking at lists online of graduate transfer possibilities. Did some research on Cunningham. And he wound up obviously coming to Louisville.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker off the little ball screen. McMahon's supposed to pick him up. Beautiful pass and finish.
Well, let's hope the Mountaineers and Red Raiders are as impressive as Holly Rowe was.
That was impressive. That's a good idea for a drill.
And an important game in the Big 12, particularly for Texas Tech. They look like they were in great shape not too long ago, and they're sliding toward the middle of the pack.
Yeah, Texas Tech's issue, they're great defensively. They have a hard time scoring at times. They can go through droughts. The really big game, too, is tomorrow night where Kansas State is taking on Kansas in Manhattan.
Are you doing that?
I am not. It's just I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be watching it closely because Kansas State is excellent defensively, and the Jayhawks have had a tough time this year on the road.
Quick catch and shoot, and what a beautiful delivery by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He now leads all scorers with 9 points.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker is one of the underrated stars in the country. Can not only shoot it, he's a 3-level scorer. Can put it on the deck and finish at the rim. And he's an excellent defensive player as well.
And the response by Ryan McMahon, redshirt junior out of Sarasota, Florida.
If Ryan McMahon shoots it without dribbling it, it's been a defensive mistake. He has to be made to put it on the deck every time, because catch and shoot, he is deadly.
Isaiah Wilkins, part of the 7-man band for Buzz Williams. Strong drive. He played 17 minutes Saturday in that game at NC State, the most that he has played in an ACC game this season. Did a good job at 5 points and 7 rebounds against the Wolfpack.
Those 7 rebounds were really big. There were a lot of them available.
Scoring inside, Stephen Enoch.
Enoch has NBA talent for a big guy. He can step away and knock down a 3. He can operate in the post. He just needs to get more consistent with his production. What a good matchup with Sutton guarding Alexander Walker.
Step back 3. Didn't get the bounce. And Jordan Wara the rebound.
He's listed at 6'7". He looks more like 6'6" to me, but man, he can really rebound on the defensive end.
Louisville's biggest lead was 10. It's now 6 with under 6 minutes to go in the first half. You might have seen the note bottom of your screen a moment ago. Louisville has won the last 14 head-to-head against Virginia Tech. Buzz Williams 0-5 as Virginia Tech coach against the Cardinals. And 33-8 all-time in favor of Louisville. Of course, they were conference rivals for many years in the old Metro Conference. Then went 20 years without playing. But Virginia Tech hasn't beaten Louisville since 1991.
Virginia Tech, after Virginia Tech left the Metro, there were a lot of different stops. There was a number of years in the Atlantic 10, then the old Big East, and then the ACC. So there's been a lot of change that the Hokies have gone through.
Time passes quickly for Louisville already. The 5th season in the ACC.
A little back screen by Jordan Wara. That was a set play. Setting a pick so that Sutton could get to the rim. They intentionally threw the ball to the corner and then threw it along the baseline. That was beautiful.
3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Cunningham. And now a moving screen call on Alexander Walker, and that's his 2nd foul. And obviously when you have 7 scholarship players available, you really can't afford foul trouble on anybody. We saw how much the game 2 weeks ago tonight changed at North Carolina, but Alexander Walker and Justin Robinson got in foul trouble. They were ahead by 9 early in that game, wound up getting blown out.
Sometimes you just have to let a bucket go. You can get a basket back, you cannot get a foul back.
Under 5 to go in the half. The loss Saturday for Louisville ended a 6-game winning streak, their longest since they've been in the ACC. Longest winning streak within the conference. So Alexander Walker doesn't stay out for very long. Jonathan Kabongo, he plays limited minutes. Matter of fact, he played 5 minutes Saturday at NC State and played only 2 in conference games all season long.
Younger brother of Mike Kabongo played for Rick Barnes at Texas.
Inside out again, but the 3 wouldn't go down for Ty Outlaws. Matter of fact, that wasn't even close. He's another good 3-point shooter. As a matter of fact, he's 48% for the season, best in the ACC. Darius Perry, backup guard, wide right with his 3-point try.
Well, there's so many good shooters on this Virginia Tech team. Not only shooting a good percentage, but 5 different guys. Shoot over 40%. They've knocked down over 37 threes.
They're just on target tonight. Another whiff by Ahmed Hill off another good pass by Alexander Walker. And now an offensive foul called on Malik Williams as he got tangled up well away from the ball. Timeout, 3:52 to go in the half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to...
Indeed, no fouls yet for Blackshear. And here are the numbers for the 2 players we featured at the top of the telecast. Both efficient. Only 5 shots and just shy of double figures for each.
A little shuffle cut and double away. This Virginia Tech runs really good stuff. But without Justin Robinson in there, it is so difficult when you don't have your quarterback.
Guys,
we have our quarterback. There she is, Allison.
During that last timeout, Louisville's Chris Mack, a couple defensive points for his team. He said, I know they have shooters, but you guys have to recognize your weak side help when they get it into Blackshear. And he said when they do, he wrote in big letters on his whiteboard, vision. He told them when to get it into Blackshear, he's looking to spray it out as much as he is trying to score, so you have to maintain your vision.
Well, not only be in help side position, but you have to move when the ball's in the air, Allison, so that you're there on the catch. Because he can see cross court, can see over you when you're putting some pressure on him.
Interesting. The coaches in conversation. They're not sure what that was all about. It didn't seem to be contentious. Shot clock running out again. Alexander Walker had the fire. And they're going to call it a shot clock violation.
He was out of bounds before the shot clock. He stepped out of bounds before the clock went off.
And he being the Louisville player.
Yes.
And now Chris Mack is irate at Doug Sermons.
Well, I think he's right, though.
Sermons was the outside official. Michael Stevens has signaled shot clock violation.
So he's out of bounds before the shot clock went off. I mean, Doug Sermons is right. He's right, and I don't know what they're doing. Why they're giving it back to Virginia Tech? This is a bad. This
well,
is
because
wrong.
Louisville didn't have possession of the ball,
but he's touching it out of bounds.
Right. So they put 1 second on the shot clock, and it's going to be Virginia Tech's ball. .3:15 to go in the half. Louisville by 8. Sean McDonough, Jay Billis, Allison Williams back in Blacksburg, Virginia, where the Hokies have not lost a game this season, but they're down by 8. 1 second to shoot for Virginia Tech. Now, did that touch anybody? Let's just move on. This whole sequence needs to go to the other end of the floor. Virginia Tech shooting 33% without their starting point guard Justin Robinson. They won while shooting 35% Saturday at NC State. 3 minutes to go in the half.
Louisville running that same set that they ran most of the game against North Carolina. It just didn't seem to be in sync after Kristen Cunningham just cut off that little elbow screen. Everything just stopped.
Seth Greenberg talking about the importance of Blackshear staying out of foul trouble. That was his first. War, the son of a coach, his dad, Alex, longtime coach since 1999 at Erie Community College in the Buffalo area. Jordan Power to the bucket that spun out.
Usually that's a screen for the screener action, but Wara just came off the screen himself and almost got something good out of it.
Good read. Alexander Walker quick down the lane, but missed the left-handed layup with a lot of spin on it. Four lost the ball. And Hill the dunk.
possession for Louisville, just casual with the basketball.
Looked for a moment like Chris Mack was going to call a timeout. Then he signaled a set that he wants here.
He was signaling for hanging on the rim. He thought Hill hung on the rim. He wanted a technical foul. Just casual with the basketball and the little exchange, and then the pass ahead from Beatty to Hill. And that was a signal, not timeout. He wanted a technical foul. If I could get up that high, I'd hang on the rim too.
Hills, the baseline drive leads to a wide open three. They just can't make any. And now it's tipped in by Louisville, Stephen Enoch.
I thought Blackshear not going to hand on. I thought Blackshear did.
I don't know if
they're going to go.
Enoch was the last to touch it. It was Blackshear. And a travel call as Kristen Cunningham tried to jam on the brakes. This sellout crowd fully engaged.
Even though Virginia Tech got off to a rough start shooting the ball, the Hokies have hung in there on both ends of the floor. And now they're getting more movement and attacking. This team can really spread the floor playing 4-round-1.
Woo. Hill almost ran into his own man in possession of the ball. Deep two by Alexander Walker. Under a minute to go in the half. Virginia Tech has never led. They trailed by as many as 10. Cunningham with the much larger Blackshear near him. 10 seconds to shoot for the Cardinals. Warren, wow, tough shot. It's still 7 on the shot clock. Shot clock is off. Hill lays it in.
And what a pass by Beatty.
Louisville would like to take the last shot of the half. With under 4. Wow. 3 by Stephen Enoch. With the crowd going crazy. As the Hokies had scratched from 10 down within 2. It's a 5-point advantage for Louisville as they head to the locker room.
And Virginia Tech had fouls to give, but you don't want to give them up because of the individual foul situation and being shorthanded.
Slow start. Much better offense at the end of the half for Virginia Tech. Here's Allison.
Coach, what has you so upset right now with the officiating?
I'm worried about my team.
Okay, what's your biggest takeaway in that first half?
Well, I mean, I think Virginia Tech shoots the ball at a high level, so we've got to be able to keep guys in front of us, and they can't go drive and kick basketball, which they're as good as any team in the country with their undersized lineup.
What have you seen that's allowed Virginia Tech to get back in this late in that first half?
Well, they're one of the top teams in the country.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome back to the start of a big Monday doubleheader. This is the ACC matchup on ESPN. Jordan Warren, Louisville. Jay Billis got off to an excellent start.
They did. Shot 44% in the first half. 7 of 16 from three-point range. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker was a big part of the offense for Virginia Tech. He had 9 points, went 3 of 5 from three-point range. But he was the only Hokie in the first half to hit a 3. Virginia Tech went 3 of 15 from three-point range. And that's really the difference in this game is three-point shooting. One thing Virginia Tech did a great job of, they kept Louisville off the free throw line where Louisville scores almost a quarter of their points. So that was a good job by Virginia Tech.
Largest lead was 10 for Louisville. It's now 5 as we head to the second half. Here's Allison Williams.
Hey there, Sean chatted with Buzz Williams coming out of the half. He said the turning point of this game was their ability to start keeping Louisville out of the paint. He said if we can keep them out of the paint, we have a chance. The problem is when they get it inside, they rotate, and then we're behind. So we have to do a good job of keeping the ball in front of us and play some volume man, guys.
Buzz Williams, animated as always. 5th year here. 46-year-old Texas name. Do you know his real name? Buzz?
No, I don't.
Brent. Apparently when he first started out in coaching, he was an entry-level person. He was buzzing around all the time, constant energy and activity, and some of his fellow coaches nicknamed him Buzz, and it stuck.
Wow. I didn't know it came from coaching. You would have thought had that nickname when he was a kid or something. Maybe we can tell everybody your nickname for broadcasting.
Oh, we used to call Bill Raftery Buzz.
Did we?
Opening possession of the second half for Louisville. It's 7-2 in conference. Tie for 4th with Virginia Tech and Syracuse, and as Jay said, important game because Chris Mack mentioned it before the game tonight. We visit a very tough schedule upcoming for Louisville. Of course, in this league, they're all tough.
They are all tough, but Louisville's schedule is especially tough. Good pass.
Blackshear missed the dunk, but got fouled by the much smaller Kristen Cunningham at 6'2". He went up to try to deny the 6'10", Kerry Blackshear.
Well, Virginia Tech doing a great job of spreading the floor, getting the ball to the corner, then an immediate slip to the bucket. As Blackshear was up there to set a ball screen, they just passed out of it. And they're essentially playing 4 round 1, but because you got 4 good shooters around Kerry Blackshear, that really spreads out the defense and stretches it. And you know, Sean, we talk all the time. You hear,
yes, you do.
but we talk all the time about spacing. Well, spacing's great, but if you can't shoot, you're not going to stretch the defense. What really matters is stretching the defense. Then you can take advantage of spacing.
Yes, you do. And by we mean you. I heard the shot you took at me. I had a lot of people tell me about it. I didn't know so many people watched you on Tuesday night. I had a lot of reports that you said you were happy to talk last Tuesday night because last Monday on our telecast you didn't get a lot of airtime.
I got to rest my voice.
Well, you'll be ready for the crossover game on Wednesday. Virginia Tech has not led in this game. Got within 2 late in the half. Down by 4 now.
Allison and I usually hear from our friends. Well, they'll say, God, what a great big Monday. And I say, yeah, we were on that game. They go, you were?
Ahmed Hill looked like he tried to split the defense, just lost the ball. Oh, that looked like a travel. The crowd thought so. Jordan Wara missed the shot.
That's where the referees just say there was not possession.
Going to give you that little up and down,
hand
signal. Lost possession of the ball momentarily. Therefore, not a travel. Wabisa Beatty, sophomore from North Andover, Massachusetts,
who has done a very good job in this game, especially on the defensive end, getting over the top of screens.
Ty Outlaw launched it with 4 on the shot clock. That's a 3. His first in 3 tries for the leading 3-point shooter by percentage in the conference, entering the night at 48% for the year.
And that's his first bucket in the last 2 games. He didn't score against NC State. Had a goose egg in the first half. That's big for Outlaw.
Nifty shot from the free throw line by Kristen Cunningham, who has shot it very well. Last 10 games, 57%. From the floor for the point guards. Done a nice job taking over for the 3-year starter, Quentin Snyder.
Who plays so low and always changes speeds. I mean, he has been very, very poised at the point guard position for Chris Mack. He's been a godsend.
Kick ball. Again, Virginia Tech trying to split a double team by Louisville.
Here's Cunningham coming off the little ball screen, and when Beatty goes behind, he just stays low, keeps the dribble in front of him, and instead of going 1,000 miles an hour off the ball screen, just probes and is able to find that opening. So consistent and does not make a lot of mistakes.
Blackshear gesturing as if he got hit in the mouth as he lost the ball. Wara too strong, and the tip in would it go from Malik Williams. He got it back and then got fouled on a reach-in by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Crowd doesn't like it. Buzz Williams waving his hands in disgust at Doug Sermons. Terrible, says Buzz Williams. You can read his lips, and it's a huge call. Third foul on the best player for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I think that Hill was fouled by Williams going after that ball. That was a lot more than incidental contact.
Now Jeff Clark just told Buzz Williams to sit down, and he is not heeding that advice.
I don't think he'd tell him to sit down. He'd tell him to be quiet.
Shot clock at 10. Long three for Dwayne Sutton.
Dwayne Sutton has made himself into a complete basketball player. He's always been a driver, slasher, could guard multiple spots. But he has really improved his shooting. You have to go out and get him now. And one of the more respected players in the league.
Blackshear, strong move. Good job by Williams to hold his ground. And then Williams got knocked to the deck. There's a Virginia Tech foul. Crowd still irritated as Blackshear's called for his second.
Blackshear with a nice drop step. It looked like Malik Williams. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's just rebounding there.
And Blackshear extended his left arm a little bit, but it didn't look like it was enough to send Williams flying as much as Malik did. Slowed the call a little bit and got away with it.
There's a difference between extending your arm and pushing. And he didn't push anybody. Again, with that same play, a little back pick, ball goes into the corner. And a little back pick under the bucket. Juan Four setting the back screen there for Malik Williams.
Ahmed Hill called for the most recent Virginia Tech foul, his first. They've basically played 5 men tonight, they being the Hokies. Williams makes the first. Isaiah Wilkins played 4 minutes in the first half, and Jonathan Kabongo played 1 minute. And that's it for the bench for Virginia Tech.
Over the long haul, you really get concerned about the amount of minutes these guys are playing. In any one game, it's not going to bother them, but over the course of an ACC season, you play that many minutes, it's going to take its toll on you.
We have no idea how long Justin Robinson's going to be out. His left foot in a boot. We asked Buzz Williams this morning, what does indefinitely mean? Is that indefinitely a long time or maybe back soon? He said it's just indefinitely. They're also playing their 5th straight game without the important bench player in the front court, P.J. Horn, who's out with a leg injury, also indefinitely. 8-point lead for Louisville, our first media timeout of the second half.
Welcome back to Blacksburg. It is an 8-point lead for Louisville over Virginia Tech. And the Cardinals' Chris Mack in his first year at Louisville, but continuing a tradition he started at Xavier, sending out a regular newsletter to his subscribers that reached as many as 28,000 when he was at Xavier. Sends it out regularly. He's had 6 editions here at Louisville, and he'll include a lot of really neat information, including summer workouts. He'll diagram several offensive plays, team building tips, even some book recommendations, practice drills. He ends each one with an inspirational quote or picture. He sends it out for free to whoever wants to subscribe via email. He said it's something he feels like is important to do because he appreciated that kind of information when he was a coach at the high school level, and it's a good way to connect with AAU and high school coaches.
Yeah, that's a great thing, Allison, that Chris Mack does. And, you know, so many coaches, you want to share what you know, and helps grow the game, and coaches at every level can certainly benefit from it. I applaud him for that. It's fantastic.
He started out as a JV girls high school basketball coach. Fine player was Chris Mack.
Played for Pete Gillen at Xavier.
After a couple of years at Evansville with Jim Cruz,
who played for Bob Knight. Jim Cruz played on the last undefeated team in college basketball, 76 Indiana Hoopers.
15 and a half to go. Louisville has not trailed, and they're almost back. They are now back to their largest lead of the night, matching it up by 10 after the corner 3 by Jordan Wara.
And going to what Allison Williams was told by Buzz Williams, So you keep the ball out of the paint, you got a better opportunity to guard the three-point line. And when Louisville was able to get it inside off the dribble, then they can kick it back out. And Jordan Wara, when he catches the ball, if he's ready to shoot it, he is such a good shooter. And you're never more open than when you first catch it. Unless the defense falls down, then you're more open.
He doesn't need much time to unload. Got that off quickly. It spun off to Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Give Louisville credit. They have made it really difficult for Virginia Tech to find open threes.
One of the things Chris Mack was disappointed in with the loss Saturday against North Carolina was the lack of winning the 50-50 balls.
Right.
Spirited effort there to tie it up. If you pick the coach of the year right now in the ACC, don't you think it would be that man?
Yeah, I think you'd have to give him the most votes, no question.
Maybe even nationally. Done a tremendous job. You have to consider Rick Barnes, I would think, at the top of that list with Tennessee, #1 in the country for the 3rd week in a row. Poll just out today. There's another ball finally won by Louisville. Cunningham started 110 games at Samford. Got his degree in public administration. Transferred to Louisville. The all-time assist leader at Samford. And a foul called. Beatty thought it was clean. The officials did not concur. Saturday, the top 3 teams in the nation all on ESPN. #1 Tennessee's won a school record 16 in a row. They're taking on Florida at 4. Then Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, #2 Duke taking on #3 Virginia. That's a sonic blockbuster. Traveling call here against Louisville. You'll be there for that one, Jake. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. You think that Duke and Virginia are clearly the 2 best teams ahead of everybody else?
No. I think there's a top tier of about 6, maybe 7.
I mean, just in the ACC.
Oh, in the ACC, yes, they're the 2 best. And North Carolina's making a push, but they've been a little bit inconsistent. Yeah, both. If Duke shoots the ball well, who beats them? I mean, they're just so talented and so good on the defensive end. The offensive rebound, the only thing they don't do is shoot consistently from the perimeter and from the free throw line.
Couple of sloppy turnovers at either end. Enoch put it on the ground and then lost it after Virginia Tech had a bad turnover on its offensive end of the court. Alexander Walker bumped on the drive before the shot out by the free throw line. Those 6 or 7 you were talking about. Duke and Virginia, obviously.
Duke, Virginia, Tennessee, Gonzaga, Michigan, Michigan State, and Kentucky with a bullet, because Kentucky is playing better and better. And that's a team. P.J. Washington's having his best year, and especially over the last 10 games, he's been spectacular. What a great drive. Boy, with the left hand and finishing through contact. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a big-time player. And we talked about Jordan Wara improving his scoring from last year to this. And Alexander Walker right there with him. And he's had to be a double-digit increase as well.
13 minutes to go. Louisville by 8. Alexander Walker just named in the release out today the ACC Player of the Week for last week. Had 6 steals in their win at Miami last week. Well, in off the turnover. Ahmed Hill. And every time it looks like Virginia Tech might be in danger, they make a little run to get back into it. And Louisville responds. Timeout, Chris Mack.
What a play by Isaiah Wilkins. Defensively, getting on the floor, getting that 50-50 ball. This is a big-time play. Crossed over twice, knocks it away from Quan Four, and what a great left-handed pass by Alexander Walker.
The crossover is back. It's the 6th year. It comes your way tomorrow and Wednesday on ESPN. Our college analysts paired with NBA analysts for college and NBA games. All 4 games live on the ESPN app. you can watch anywhere. How about Dick Vitale and Hubie Brown? A lot of experience there for Boston College and Duke.
They will be up in the crow's nest with Dan Shulman watching Duke take on BC. Yeah, that's a play that Louisville loves to run. They run Ryan McMahon off the opposite elbow after Wara catches it. Oftentimes they'll have a defender locking and trailing. So watch Isaiah Wilkins. He locks and trails here and gets picked off, and he's behind. Just a bad pass by Jordan Wara.
That should have been a layup. Isaiah Wilkins for 3. And it's a 3-point game with just more than 12 minutes to go.
What an impact Isaiah Wilkins has had over the last 5 minutes of this game. Blue collar. Well, he plays hard, and a very good catch and shoot guy just proved that.
And just 18 years old, Ryan McMahon fouled by Wilkins shooting a 3. You mentioned Wilkins turned 18 on September 29th. He's the 10th youngest player in Division I. Here's his 3.
Good pass by Beatty, ready to shoot. Might have given them all back with that foul on McMahon, though.
ESPN and the ACC are combining to bring you the ACC network. Starts in August. 15 great universities, one network. Visit getaccn.com to learn more.
Ryan McMahon is going to the line for 3 free throws, and the referee thought he was fouled. He was never touched. Now, it looked like a foul, and so you don't blame the referee for calling this, but he was never touched. These guys, some of these three-point shooters, a little bit sneaky.
Good actor, maybe related to Vince McMahon. We'll have to research the family tree.
You know who is the best at that I've seen in all these years was probably Colin Falls at Notre Dame.
Yes,
a well-named three-point shooter. Yeah, exactly. He used to kick his leg out and got all kinds of fouls on defenders running by. But that, and look, you don't blame the officials for missing that because it looked like a foul. But he was not touched, and in fact, he was the one that grabbed Isaiah Wilkins' arm.
And he's the wrong guy to foul. 94% before he went up there, and he made all 3.
The shooter's equivalent of a flop.
It's hard for a guy who's 80% of his shots are threes. He shoots a decent amount of free throws. He's now shot 52 free throws this year. A lot of times we do a game where it's a guy who's really just a three-point shooter. You look at the stats, he shot 13 free throws all year. He shot more than 50. So maybe he's good at that. Maybe that happens a lot.
I don't know that does. I've not noticed it that much. But he definitely sold that one because he was not touched.
Blackshear thought it was deflected away, but the officials say no. Well, Virginia Tech hanging in there. They've gotten within a bucket a couple of times after trailing by 10 in each half. Still have not led. Ty Outlaw back in. And the freshman Isaiah Wilkins goes to the bench.
The difference has really been the three-point line. Well, Louisville's 9 of 20. Now 10 of 21 thanks to McMahon.
And that was way beyond the arc right in front of us. And Virginia Tech, second best three-point shooting team in the country at better than 42%. Just 5 out of 18. That's under 28%. And all of a sudden it's back to a 9-point lead for Louisville, trying to get to 8-2 in conference. The team that was picked 11th in the preseason ACC poll. It's a 15-team league.
Now McMahon had 24 points in a game earlier this year against Michigan State. He got a number of free throws in that game. If I remember right, I think he made 10 free throws. Now, he was getting fouled late in the game. So that was one of the reasons he shot 50. But he's had some big games this year when if you let him get started and he's hunting his shot, can get catch and shoot. So you make him put it on the deck, he's less effective. I remember earlier, I mean, that was a big win that Louisville had. It was the Big Ten ACC when they beat Michigan State in overtime. McMahon had a great game.
Important game for these two teams. Trying to stay within one game in the loss column. The Virginia, Duke, and North Carolina.
after a timeout. Alexander Walker turns it over, and McMahon again wide open.
And he rattles that one home for another 3. And the largest lead of the night.
Now another timeout. I don't know why he wanted a timeout again after screwing up the last one.
And by the way, being your personal researcher, McMahon against Michigan State, November 27th, 12 out of 13 on the line for 24 points, which was a career high, and he's taken over this game in the last couple of moments.
Well, in transition, wide open, shooting the trail 3 after that turnover by by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That was, Louisville's kind of blown this game open just the last 3 possessions. 2 McMahon threes, then get fouled going to the free throw line.
Had to be a hard decision for Chris Mack. His long-time Cincinnati roots, lifelong Ohioan basically. 9 years head coach at Xavier, being an assistant there. But I think he feels, a lot of people do, Louisville's one of the best jobs in America.
One of the 5 best jobs in the country, no question. I mean, it is a passionate basketball market.
And a 3 out of the corner for Ty Outlaw. Chris Mack told us before the game, I'm enjoying it. He does miss Cincinnati, but it's about a 75 or 80-minute drive, so a lot of the friends and relatives come to visit. And he said, most importantly, my family is really enjoying Louisville. Like it slipped out of Cunningham's hand. Wound up with Sutton. He handed it off to McMahon, and Sutton started to the other end of the court. As soon as he flipped it to McMahon, because he knew Ryan McMahon was going to make another one. That's 12 straight points for Ryan McMahon.
He is looking for it. Ryan McMahon got hot, and he has stayed hot.
Blackshear the miss. Nearly midway through the second half. Louisville the ball in a 12-point lead.
After a loss at home to North Carolina, if Louisville could come to Blacksburg and get a win, they got to turn around and go to Florida State in what is just a brutal stretch. And right now, Ryan McMahon's running off screens like he's Reggie Miller. They're looking for him, too. Coming against the green, taking the little handoff. Yeah, you can't go underneath on him. And he's having a good time out there. You know, you never want somebody to come into your building and have a good time, enjoy themselves. And right now, Louisville's enjoying themselves.
McMahon has 15 points. That is his second highest point total of the year. Behind that 24-point effort. Career best against Michigan State. He's only scored in double figures in 4 other games all year, other than the 2 we just mentioned.
After Blackshear missed that quick turn and shoot, Virginia Tech's a little deflated right now. Louisville is going to make him guard for the entirety of the shot clock.
Cunningham down the lane and lays it in.
That was just beautiful. They really spread out Virginia Tech, and he weaved his way all the way to the basket. Never even had to make a pass.
Wonder what Virginia Tech has in the tank. Alexander Walker fouled. They've essentially played 6 men tonight. Kabongo, the 7th man, has played just 1 minute.
Kerry Blackshear not attached when he was setting that ball, when Malik Williams was setting that ball screen up top. Just gave Kristen Cunningham too much room, and he could just navigate through there. But it's so hard. You got to cover so much ground. It's almost like an NBA play where the screen was set so far away from the basket.
Enoch returns for Louisville. And Wara. Alexander Walker made the first.
Chris Mack using his bench to wear down Virginia Tech. Fresh bodies coming into the game. Some of those fresh bodies are big. Stephen Enoch is a big fresh body that they can go to.
Louisville's played 9 men tonight. And all of those subs have played at least 5 minutes. Enoch, former high school player of the year in the state of Connecticut, fouled on that baseline jumper. And the foul is on Outlaw.
That was a tough shot from behind the backboard. Can't foul a jump shooter there. after not putting Louisville on the free throw line in the first half. Cardinals just about living there in the second.
Enoch, Louisville perfect 6 for 6 from the line now.
Enoch had started several games for Louisville. Now Malik Williams has stepped into the starting lineup. Enoch coming off the bench. That's a pretty good big man tandem. Both of them can step away and shoot it. Now Malik Williams has done a much better job of getting down in the post. That was something that he didn't do much of last year. He was content to be more of a face-up 5-man. He's really done a much better job of accepting the physical challenge that you receive in the ACC.
Largest lead of the night for Louisville. They need it. They get it. A 3 for Ty Outlaw.
It's his third of the second half, I believe. He got a little contact on that shot, went down, didn't get the call.
Enoch working on Outlaw with the left. No. Good offensive rebound by Sutton. And then he was fouled along the baseline.
Ryan McMahon, 15 points in this one. The scouting report is he can really shoot it, so you got to make him bounce it, put it on the deck. But thus far in the game, he hasn't had to. And if you don't make him put it on the deck, he's going to make you take it out of the net. McMahon's been hot.
All right, Zubin, and then it's Sports Center, 11 Eastern, or approximately 11 Eastern. After the game, Kenny and John Anderson. Kobe Bryant on the state of the NBA. His reaction to the Anthony Davis trade demand. Does he think James Harden can lead the Rockets to a title? Woj has the latest on the Lakers offer for Anthony Davis. And how about the master plan executed by the Patriots in beating the Rams in the Super Bowl yesterday? Sports Center at 11 Eastern on ESPN and the app. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did watch the Super Bowl. I was doing a little work on this game and watching Synergy at the same time, but I wound up spending more time watching Synergy because the game did not captivate me.
It was a little boring.
Just don't say that to Trey Wingo. He wants to fight anybody that says it was boring.
Well, everybody that we were watching the game with thought it was boring. Although those of us from New England, you never get it's not tedious yet, winning all these Super Bowl championships and World Series titles. I want to commend you. It was a big event yesterday, but there were 2 articles about you on the front page of the Roanoke paper here today. ESPN's bill is still high on depleted Virginia Tech. And then a major feature article at the top of that screen about you, Revolutionary Boar. Or is that about, they're telling us at the truck that was about the Super Bowl?
only you could turn that into a slam on your partner.
No, there's nothing boring about another Patriot World Championship.
Virginia Tech has struggled from the perimeter. Really, the three-point line has been a huge difference in this game. Louisville has knocked their threes down, and Virginia Tech has missed theirs. How about the bench production? Stephen Enoch and Ryan McMahon combining for 25, 6 of 7 from 3 for those two.
Enoch's 3 looked good the whole way, popped out. That would have been a big one for Louisville. 6.5 to go. And Allison, we understand you're near the Virginia Tech bench.
Yeah, guys, during that last timeout, Buzz Williams telling his players, this is no time to hang your heads. We don't have time for that. You have to keep playing aggressive. We need more defensively. And offensively, don't be settling for shots. Look to drive during this final stretch. He said, I don't want you trying to do it on your own. Don't play for one. Play for each other. And let's see what happens in these final minutes.
Well, there is plenty of time. There's 6:20 to go in regulation. And the way Virginia Tech shoots it, if they can get some stops, they're fully capable. But, Sean, as you mentioned, you kind of wonder down the stretch with all the bodies that Chris Mack has thrown to Virginia Tech, how much they have left in the tank.
And the quick turnaround, the road game in Raleigh. About a 4-hour drive from here on Saturday. There's a 3. Blackshear stepping out beyond the arc. He doesn't make many of those, just his 11th of the season.
He does such a good job for this team. Leads them in block shots. Top rebounder. And they can play through him. He's such a good passer as a big guy.
Held ball. And it goes back to Virginia Tech with 5.5 minutes to go. Down by 11.
So a couple stops, couple scores, and all of a sudden things can look a little bit different. This is a big possession for Virginia Tech. If the Hokies can get a score here, maybe get a little more energy, a little more life, and get the crowd back into this one and make Louisville play with some game pressure.
Offensive foul call by Alexander Walker. That's his 4th, so 1 away from disqualification. Crowd doesn't like the call. It was Darius Perry who stood in and drew the charge.
You made an interesting point. What if football officials made calls, made their signals with as much vigor as basketball refs?
We would laugh so hard. Could you imagine if football officials jumped around like basketball officials do? On every level, it's not just college.
So I think I heard you advocate maybe we should give basketball officials flags.
Yeah, give them flags. Just throw the flag and then say foul, number 12 in white. That'll be the end of it.
But all the demonstrations count the bucket for Blackshear. And it's back to a single-digit deficit for Virginia Tech. Blackshear at the line, a chance to make it an 8-point game.
A good drive at the baseline. And then anytime you get a baseline drive, the big guy needs to get to the front of the rim. You get to the front of the rim and you are a threat.
Malik Williams called for the foul from behind. His 3rd.
There is plenty of time left in this game.
Under 5 to go. 4:45. Louisville by 8. If you're just joining us, the Cardinals have not trailed tonight. They led by as many as 10 in the first half, by 15 here in the second. Jordan Warren rejected by Alexander Walker, but then dropped in by Malik Williams.
Alexander Walker was guarding Ryan McMahon. That's where McMahon can be a screener. See if they can get a switch and then go right after Alexander Walker. See if he can pick up his 5th foul.
They're sloppy again with the ball. And a backcourt violation.
Simple passing and catching. A little casual with it. A really nice move, and what a block by Alexander Walker, but Malik Williams right there to stick it back. If Louisville keeps driving the ball, Virginia Tech can't really afford to foul, especially with Alexander Walker.
He has 4. Warren tried to sell that he was hit after the release on the 3. Blackshear trying to spin away from Williams. Nicely done.
How about the footwork by the big guy? Not quite Elijah, but pretty darn good.
17 and 5 for Blackshear after his double-double on Big Monday in North Carolina 2 weeks ago tonight.
But not a good shot.
Williams the miss was kept alive for a moment by Sutton. 5-on-4 Hokies, and it's slapped out of bounds by Malik Williams. He's saying it hit Virginia Tech on the way out. He did not sway the officials.
Kerry Blackshear has been all by himself among the trees inside. Makes a nice step-through move with the left hand. Virginia Tech still in it.
Duke of Virginia. To vote, go to twitter.com/SportsCenter. You're doing that game, so does that disqualify you from your usual?
Yes, not allowed to make picks.
You want any keys to the game or anything? Or you worried about the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday night?
Yeah, first things first. Good.
Have you practiced how to say
I have to say it
last name? I would let Doris handle the tough parts if I were you.
Boy, Chris Mack wondering why that wasn't a charge, that Malik Williams was dead in front of Nickeil Alexander Walker. Well, he was falling backwards, so that actually I like that. That was a good call.
Really?
I do.
We have that on tape.
I think it was a block.
Call to block. Are you going to be?
Most charges are blocks.
Are you going to be nice to the NBA refs?
I'm nice to all the refs. I'm nice to the refs. I just say when I think a call has been missed.
Yes, it's not a personal thing.
It's not personal.
1-1 here for Alexander Walker.
What's personal is my discussion about the play-by-play guy driving back to the hotel.
What do you do with Ryan Rucco?
A real pro.
A real pro. Now, by the way, I'll be interested to see your energy level Wednesday night, because there's a report that you might be spending social time with Bill Raftery in Milwaukee.
If I do, I will not care how I feel the next day.
High arcing free throws are good. Here come the Hokies. They've made a couple of runs only to be shoved back by Louisville. It's a 10-2 Hokie run and a turnover as Sutton errant with the inbound pass. A three. No. Big miss on a step back three by Ahmed Hill out of the corner. That would have brought the house down.
But he still liked the shot.
Largest lead was 15. Flex down to 6. Shot clock at 10, and their best player goes to the bucket. Jordan Wara right down the lane.
Little flex action, then a handoff. And what a tough drive from Jordan Wara. Not settling for a jump shot, getting it all the way to the rim and daring Virginia Tech to foul him.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker fouled as he went down the lane. He'll shoot 2.
The thing you like about this, the drive, is there was nothing fancy about it. Jordan Wara with just a straight line drive, took him 2 dribbles. It maybe could have got there in 1, but early on the season, Wara was kind of playing with the ball a little bit too much, adding extra frosting to things, and I think Chris Mack and his staff really worked with him on being more efficient with the ball, and as a result, he's become a more efficient scorer.
Free throw woes continue.
I'm not sure free throw woes could be any worse than I saw on Saturday night. Michigan State missed a ton of free throws. I couldn't even count. There were so many.
Would have given us.
I would have given you the exact number. I saw it on the stat sheet. I just don't remember, but it was brutal.
Pressure from the Hokies. Louisville gets it over, and now they run a little clock with 2:13 to go, and still 15 to shoot. Up by 7, trying to make it 15 straight wins over Virginia Tech, dating back to 1991. Cunningham swat by Blackshear. Beatty the push. Hill passed up the corner 3. Blackshear down the lane. Almost had a chance for the old-fashioned 3. The shot was short, but he'll shoot 2 at the line.
Well, Kristen Cunningham was probing, and just took it a little bit too far. And Blackshear going against the closeout by Stephen Enoch. Really smart play to drive that closeout and just not settle for the 3. Almost the conventional 3-point play opportunity.
Second foul on Enoch. As a free throw shooter, would you like to be this quiet? When they go completely silent here, I think that would make you have a lot of thoughts of self-consciousness.
I don't remember even caring about that. I know when I played, it did get quiet at home and noisy on the road. I don't remember it being a big deal either way.
Well, one thing I do remember, it gets that quiet.
Yeah, that's true. One thing I do remember is the San Diego Chicken was at one of our games on the road and was very distracting.
5-point game, 1:40 to go. Sutton stepped into a 3 and banked it in.
How about that? That was one of those, what are you doing? And then it goes in.
I don't think you would classify that as a good shot. But he made it, banked it in. Had time, as you see, almost 20 full seconds on the shot clock.
That's a 13th three that Louisville's made in this game. The three-point line has been very kind to the Cardinals. They've shot extraordinarily well. And how about Ryan McMahon coming in off the bench and Stephen Enoch with the contributions they've made? Without those two, I think Louisville wouldn't have the lead right now. They've been a big lift off the bench. And having those extra players and throwing all the bodies that Chris Mack has thrown at Virginia Tech, I think they've really taken some steam out of the Hokies.
Tough angle for me here with our little Snoop camera way over here to the left.
Yeah, you look bald.
All my chin's on full display for America. And usually, you know, I'm trying to pay attention to you for about another 5 minutes or so. 1:35 to go. And a disappointing night from beyond the arc. You get the sense, Jay, that this is a team that they need the three. If they don't shoot the three well, it's tough to win.
Yes, but and what they need more than the three is Justin Robinson. You put Robinson back in the lineup, and that frees up Nickeil Alexander-Walker to hunt his shot. Nobody has to worry about the ball that Justin Robinson's got. He's the all-time leading assist guy here at Virginia Tech. I think he's second in the league in assists overall. And he's just had a terrific season, and you hope he's back soon.
Virginia Tech very tight-lipped with that information about how long they expect he'll be out. Alexander Walker fouled again. Just 5 out of 8 from the line tonight.
Yeah, you have heard around the country, especially in the ACC, more indefinitely, which is the new way of saying none of your business.
But I don't know why it needs to be so mysterious.
Well, there is a reasoning behind it, because at times you don't want to put a timetable on it so the player feels like they got to rush back by a certain time, and then you don't get as many questions about it when you say indefinitely.
I think you get more questions, because if you say we think it's 3 weeks, okay, that's an answer. Indefinitely spawns more questions. A week from now we're going to see him again, but still indefinitely.
Yeah, you can say, is it still indefinitely? And they say yes, and you're done.
I think it's going to be a while.
Oh, you think so?
And I think, yes.
I hope not.
I hope not, too. He's a terrific player. And by all accounts, a terrific young man as well. Top 25 in scoring at Virginia Tech, and the all-time assist leader. Just moved past Malcolm Delaney and Bimbo Coles. What a game he had against Syracuse with 35 points, 9 3-pointers, the school record. Pressuring in the backcourt. McMahon, 1:10 to go. Louisville the ball in a 7-point lead.
We'll play out this possession, but then there got to be some fouls.
5 to shoot. Wara. What a possession for Louisville. Took the shot clock down to 3 and scored. And that's a huge step toward their 17th win of the year, up by 9. Under 50 seconds to go. Blackshear and Enoch were tangling. They're going to call it on Stephen Enoch.
Well, you don't want the foul there because it stops the clock and allows Virginia Tech to score with no time going off, and then they can set up their pressure. But at least you took away the opportunity for them to get a 3.
Blackshear's had a good night at the free throw line. 6 for 7.
Well, he has been a workhorse.
19 points, now 20 for Blackshear. Wilkins back in. Alexander Walker goes out. They're in a half the foul situation. They don't want Alexander Walker to get his 5th. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 block shots, an assist and a steal for Kerry Blackshear, redshirt junior from Orlando. His dad is a terrific player at Stetson.
Really no good option. You got to foul. You can't wait.
You don't want to foul McMahon.
You don't have a choice. Clock's more important. Because he's just going to dribble it out. There's no 5-second foul anymore. You got to foul.
Well, that's really bad. You wait.
Yeah, you wait that
much time and then foul him.
And he's smart. He's not going to give up the ball. He knows that. He knows he shoots over 90%. But they should have fouled Kristen Cunningham as soon as he caught it. if you're going to extend the game, you got to do it right away. The good news for Louisville is there may be a best option to foul, but there's no good option. This might be the best you can do, but just about everybody shoots in the high 70s, 80s. McMahon in the 90s is a very good free throw shooting team.
Get best in school history if they stay this way. They started the night 76.2% as a team. The school record is 75-2 back in 1974-75. Back in the early days of the great Denny Crum.
It might have been his first or second year. No, it wasn't. 71, 72. That's right. But they went to the Final Four in '75, and that was when that was the year John Wood retired.
Nice to hear too that Chris Mack reached out to Denny Crum.
Yes, Denny Crum, one of the great guys and one of the great coaches of all time.
South pass off the leg of Blackshear and out of bounds. And Louisville, after having its 6-game winning streak, snapped at home against North Carolina on Saturday. Going to get back in the win column. 7 out of 8 for Chris Mack, and 8-2 in conference. As you said, with a tough schedule coming up, starting with Saturday's game at Florida State, and they have Duke and Clemson to go to Syracuse. They have Virginia coming to the KFC Yum! Exclamation Point Center.
This is if they can hang on, they should, with 21.5 to go in regulation. This
ESPN
is a
News
huge
is
win.
projecting them.
Yeah,
as
we're going to project it.
Yes.
But I mean, look, I can't remember a more difficult February. It was a February on February 2 that started with North Carolina, then coming to ranked Virginia Tech, and then you got Florida State. I mean, this is a brutal schedule.
Sun was about to shoot the free throw. Jeff Clark stopped the action.
I wonder if they have they've got the 5th foul on Wilkins. I don't know why you take the ball away from the free throw shooter. They could have done that in free throws.
Wayne Sutton, 75%.
Can't tell you how impressed I am with Sutton. He is one tough player. Puts his hard hat on, scratches in just about every category. He's got to have near a double-double in this one.
He has 16 and 9 off the career high 19 points in that loss Saturday to North Carolina.
He just sticks his nose in there, rebounds, good passer, defense, multiple spots. You know, Louisville's got a blue-collar team, and they're good and getting better.
Timeout, Virginia Tech discussing their 11-point play. Here is Zubin back in the studio.
Sean, thanks very much. You could be looking at the Big 12 Player of the Year, Mariel Shayok, the transfer from Virginia, under 2 minutes away on ESPN2. They're in Norman, and as soon as you guys are done, Matt Mooney and the Red Raiders looking to take down West Virginia. That's on the way. Back to Blacksburg, Sean.
All right, Zubin. Glum Blacksburg. A lot of the folks here in the sellout crowd at Castle Coliseum heading to the exits.
Well, the big difference has been the 3, and we expected that Virginia Tech might be the team that would knock it down from 3, but it's been Louisville. Jordan Ward knocking down several in the first half, and Stephen Enoch coming off the bench knocked down 2 in the first half. And in the second half it continued, and this was the guy that blew the lid off, Ryan McMahon. Got that one. Well, that was an extra, a little off the glass action from Sutton, but McMahon came in, not made to put the ball on the deck, and knocked down 4 of them.
That's 3 straight games now with double figures and made 3-point field goals for Louisville. Outlaw out of the corner. It's going to be too little too late for the Hokies. Down by 8, 10.5 to go. And Buzz Williams waves them off. They will not foul. And Louisville has won 15 straight head-to-head against Virginia Tech. What a remarkable first season for Chris Mack. 17-6 overall, 8-2. The season began, many in Louisville wondering if they'd be a 500 team. Now they're starting to talk about seeding the night toward the NCAA tournament. Work to do yet for that. For Allison and Jay, Sean McDonough, so long from Blacksburg. Here's Bob Wischusen.